Hi friends, on Fertility Fridays today, I'd like to discuss a very prominent social topic today, which is egg freezing. So being a woman myself, I feel that egg freezing is giving a lot of liberation to women. That's my personal finding. I feel that being able to pause our biological clock, being able to postpone fertility till we are mentally, physically ready, career-wise ready, or when we found the right partner, is definitely something that gives a lot of empowerment to women. And so today I would want to briefly tell you about the medical aspects of egg freezing and whether you should be contemplating for it. So egg freezing is a science wherein eggs are harvested from a woman's or a girl's body, and they are frozen. And they are frozen like a frog hibernates. And so they are frozen for future use, which means you kind of pause the eggs where they are rather than allowing them to dwindle or degenerate as they do with as our age increases. And the quality of eggs also goes down as our ages increase. And I feel our right now careers and everything is in complete conflict with our biological clock, which means it's only in our late 20s, early 30s is when we are starting to rise in our careers. We as women are becoming more choosy, and rightly so, for our partners, and therefore we don't want to compromise as far as starting a family or marriages is concerned. And therefore, looking at egg freezing as an option makes complete sense. So, the problem with women fertility is that we peak our fertility when we are in our teens and early 20s. The egg count and the egg quality tends to decline with age, and it accelerates so after the age of 32 or so. And by the time we are 38 and above, the egg count and quality has really dwindled to a very low value. And therefore, time is of big essence as far as female fertility is concerned. But as I just mentioned, it can be in direct conflict with what our desires overall for our life is at right now. And scientifically, therefore, it's a big boon that we are now able to get our eggs out and freeze them for future use, freeze them when we are ready to have a baby, create an embryo, and plan a pregnancy. So the interesting and remarkable part of science is that you may come back at 40, 42, ready to become a mother, and you have your eggs frozen, say at an early age, which is between 30, 32. And at that time, the success rates of fertility have all, dwindled. But for you, the results will stand as they were at 30. So I think that's remarkable science. This is an advancement that has happened over the last decade, which means we've been struggling with great technology for egg freezing. And now it has come to a point where we are much more confident in terms of the fact that when we freeze eggs, we get them back as they are. So we say that at least 80 to 90% of eggs can easily be thawed and seen to be at their, pre-thaw survival rate. So the survival rates are much better. What we need to understand is that sperm freezing vis is very easy, which means a male partner just has to give a, sperm sample, and it contains millions of sperms, and you freeze them. But for eggs, our eggs are immature in our ovary, and therefore one has to go through the IVF or injection process. You have to take hormonal injections to make multiple eggs. Then you have to undergo a mild sedative process where you're given mild anesthesia. There are no cuts or incisions in the body, and these eggs are then harvested and then they are frozen for future use. So the process typically takes about 2 weeks. The process is about half the part of what an IVF entails. It's not as if you just walk into a clinic and you come in and freeze eggs. Unfortunately, that's not the way it happens, but it's still not very difficult either. You have to take about 12 to 15 injections over a 2-week period total. You have to come in for ultrasounds and blood tests in between. You have to manage your work schedule and day accordingly. Then one fine day when the eggs are ready, you come in, you go into the operating room. There's a small procedure that is done and the eggs are collected and are frozen. These eggs can then be frozen for infinite period, and legally there's no problem, at least for the next 10-15 years. As I said, it makes a lot of sense because when you are mentally, physically ready to be a mother, these eggs are already frozen at a much younger age when the fertility results are way better than what they would be once we are in our late 30s and 40s. So I think I'm also very happy to see day to day that this awareness is really increasing among women. We as women are also becoming more open to the idea of, going through such procedures. We may have a little hesitation, to do it when we are young, because of course, there are so many questions around it, and I would want you to discuss it with your specialist. However, it's great science. It's something that really helps us when we need it. It's more like investing for the future. So it may not seem that pertinent or important right now, but you really would feel very proud of yourself many years later that yes, I took the right step in that right direction. So I think it's something that is more like planning for the future, but gives great empowerment to women. And I am very glad, as I said, it is doctor to see that awareness is increasing. More and more women are now coming forward and they're freezing their eggs. And of course, technology is helping because the technology is getting better day by day as far as egg freezing is concerned. I would really want the awareness to grow. I would want people to know that technology like this exists. I would want people to ask questions and then take a realistic decision whether they want to do it. But trust me, years later, people feel really empowered that they took the right decision because it's something that you're planning for way ahead of its time. And if you plan ahead, it would really help you. That's what I see in my day-to-day dealing with, fertility patients. So I wish you all the best. I hope you read up more about it. If you have any questions around the procedure, please feel free to comment, write to us in the comment section, reach out to us in the links below, or email to us. I'd be more than happy to help. And as I said, I'm glad that we're talking more about, topics like these. So I wish you all the best. And please, as a woman, take the power in your hands. Thank you.